Wow, what a time to be alive! It's just insane how much is happening on our planet right now. Today, we're diving deep, let's call it solar madness meets earthquake chaos. Just take a moment to appreciate this. We've had a 1.1x class solar flare, but interestingly, the light came from the other side of the sun, so we didn't experience much of it at all.
That's kinda wild. So, how does a solar flare even work? I mean, how can it be there but, not affect us directly?
Great question. We measure solar flares by X-ray flux, which is essentially high-frequency light. You typically expect a big flash capable of knocking out electronics, but in this case, we got very little, barely a whisper. But here's where it gets intriguing. There is this massive coronal mass ejection, a Carrington-class solar flare. Had it been heading straight for us, it would have been catastrophic.
Whoa, a Carrington-class solar flare? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. So what does that actually mean for us?
Yeah, it does sound dramatic, doesn't it? It basically means it's the largest ejection we've seen launched from the sun in this solar cycle, potentially in 2 decades. On top of that, we had reports of a serious 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar today.
7.7? That's, terrifying. How does that even connect with the solar activity, though?
Perfect follow-up. There's an intriguing correlation between solar activity and seismic events. We currently have a giant coronal hole, which could be linked to the large earthquake we just experienced. Think of it like tidal forces. They're strongest around the new moons and full moons. And guess what? We're just 1 day away from a new moon, coupled with a partial solar eclipse.
So the moon's pulling on the Earth, is it similar to how it creates tides in the ocean? Wow, that's mind-blowing.
Absolutely. It's just like the tides, but we're talking about tectonic plates instead of water. And speaking of interesting connections, we've been observing unusual anomalies in the Schumann resonances. Think of these as Earth's heartbeat, you know?
Earth's heartbeat? How does that even work? Do we, get an echo of that in human health too?
Great curiosity there. Yes! The Schumann resonances can indeed reflect energetic vibrations that might influence human emotional states. I've actually experienced physical responses tied to these solar events. For instance, I felt unwell just before significant earthquakes occurred. It's a fascinating connection, suggesting we're more tied into this energetic web than we might think.
So you're saying our bodies can feel the solar activity? That's weirdly kind of amazing. Are we all just walking around in the solar influence?
Exactly. There's this richly interconnected system at play, even though mainstream science isn't fully on board with these ideas. In Japan, they've set up Schumann resonance stations to help predict earthquakes. There's skepticism elsewhere, but the patterns aren't lost on me. It's a fascinating intersection of solar activity influencing our weather, geophysical processes, and yes, even our health.
Whoa, so even as we're doing normal things living our lives, we're being tugged by cosmic forces? That sounds like a plot twist in a movie.
Right? You couldn't write it any better. With the devastation from that earthquake, thousands have been affected, buildings have collapsed, and even places like Bangkok felt the shaking for 3 long minutes. Unbelievable.
Gosh, that's quite scary. So you're saying this region has a history of seismic activity?
Indeed, historical data shows numerous earthquakes greater than magnitude 6 happen in this region over the years. It's an active seismic zone, and when you connect it to solar activities, it adds a whole new layer of understanding and urgency to monitor what's happening above us.
This is all incredibly fascinating. I feel like I'm getting the cosmic lowdown. So what's the takeaway? Why should we all be paying attention to this?
The takeaway is crucial. We cannot underestimate the significance of monitoring solar activities and their broader implications. Recognizing these connections can help in disaster preparedness, while broadening our understanding of how interconnected we truly are, both to our planet and the universe.
It's like a cosmic web of life. Wow, I'm definitely subscribing for more cosmic insights and connections.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining this conversation, and let's keep exploring the mysteries of our planet and the universe together.
Yes, let's dive into this cosmic madness more often. I can't wait to learn more.
There's always more to discover. It's a never-ending journey through science, nature, and the cosmos.
Yay, count me in. Let's unravel these mysteries together.